Our gospel today is very timely and relevant to what we are doing now in the Indo-Pacific region as we reflect on the path of popular missions for us in this part of the world. And the gospel speaks about rootedness and fruitfulness. And I think that is the theme of your 100 years of existence as a congregation here in Indonesia. Rootedness and fruitfulness. And I think we have to find some fundamental elements of popular mission that will provide for its rich soil so that we can be rooted and grow little by little and then be fruitful in the church. And I would like to share to you 3 points. First, just like in the life of Saint Vincent de Paul, I think we also have to make a culture of encounter. Father, our expert last night provided us with a good review of the life of Saint Vincent de Paul. And the mission started in Fallville was a fruit of that encounter in guns. And so, popular missions are conducted for just like more than a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks in the Philippines. If we are to make it a culture of encounter, I think it should not be done only in that period, a short period of time. Culture means a way of life, a lifestyle. And so, it has to become ordinary for us that this spirit of popular missions should continue in the church. Not only being done on a short period of time, a culture of encounter. And we have to really will it, you know. It will not happen if we will not do it. And so, we have to create it willfully, you know, with the intention. Okay, we have to be men and women of encounter. For example, in our parish, when I arrived there, I told our secretary, "Can you free me twice a week, 2 days a week? Because I want to roam around our parish." Because the secretary is the one accepting schedules for the sacrament. And if you will just allow the secretary, the parish will become mere sacramental. We will have less pastoral and missionary life and zeal in the parish. And so I explained to her about synodality, that being with the people is just the same as saying Mass. It is still being church, and both are important. And so, we are not balanced if we only provide people with sacraments. I think we have to balance this with our presence, with this culture of encounter in the parish. That is first one. Second is deep listening. I think Fallville and what happened in Chatillon-les-Dombes was a fruit of deep listening of Saint Vincent de Paul. When he listened to that dying old man of his confession, and when he listened to some of his parishioners in Chatillon-les-Dombes about a poor family, and he gave a powerful homily during that time, and then he listened. A kind of deep listening that moves us forward, that makes us men and women of action. So it is not just passive kind of listening or hearing, but it goes down deep to the heart and respond to the needs of the poor in our society, for example. And so this deep kind of listening should also be a culture, a way of life. For example, in our parish, every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon from 2 o'clock in the afternoon until like 7 or 8 in the evening, we go around the parish. We visit our visita domiciliaria, or the house visits, okay? And so with the nanays, with the mothers in the area, we go around. Then just waste time with the people, listening to their stories. And at the end of that dialogue of life, we call it DOL, because in the mission we are used to saying DOL, or dialogue of life. We pray together in the area. I think this kind of deep listening, or even more than that, the poor are used to living a life of poverty. What they are not used to is when we are with them on a regular basis. That is not usual for the poor. Poverty, that's not quite a problem for them, because that's their world. But we missionaries, when we waste our time with them in the most ordinary days of our life in the parish, for example, I think that is something quite strange for the poor. And when they are at home with that, just like what we did last night, we are at home when the catechist danced and sang, and so we danced together. There were no barriers at all. No priest, no catechist, no sisters, no missionary. We dance to one music. We sing the same song. And I think that kind of deep listening that we have to inculcate in our areas of mission. That is second. And thirdly is lay empowerment. I think this is the life of Saint Vincent de Paul. Just like Jesus, he empowered the lay of his time. The disciples, they were all lay people, fishermen, tax collectors, the sinners. All of them were lay people. And that kind of community that Jesus built during that time is a witness against the clerical kind of religion during his time. And so we have to empower our lay people. Empowering lay people for me means the awakening of the people of God as church, not only as priests, sisters, or missionaries, because we are very few. I think we are less than 1% of God's people. The priests, the sisters, the religious, I think we are less than 1%. And more than 99% is composed of God's people, the people of God. And so, this kind of church has to be awakened, that they themselves are missionaries. And we steal it from them. And let them believe that when we say church, it refers only to the priests, to the bishops, to the sisters, to the religious. They become passive. And when Saint Vincent de Paul, he started that kind of radicality in the church when he founded the Daughters of Charity. Okay, the first women congregation that went out of the convent to be with the people. I think that is living God for God. I think so. And so maybe we be inspired with these three fundamental options of the popular missions, creating a culture of encounter with this kind of deep listening and empowering our lay people, the people of God.